Reaching the highest rank on Master Duel is realistically a goal any duelist can reach, given that they have the time, patience, and most importantly of all, a deck that can compete. And thanks to all the resources offered in Master Duel, like the crafting mechanic and the ability to buy gems, building any top meta strategy is easier than ever. But what if that wasn't an option? What if you had to begin completely from scratch? How far can you realistically get? Okay, so the goal is simple. Reach the highest rank in Master Duel with nothing more than 3 copies of a given structure deck and whatever packs I'm able to pick up as the series continues, without ever buying any gems and or using any crafted cards. I've done this challenge in the past before and failed miserably, so I'm looking for a redemption arc. So I hope you're excited because this is Returning to Master Duel. What is up guys, it's Topsy and welcome back to another episode of Returning to Master Duel. And for today's episode, we have a lot to do. So I'm kind of considering completely dropping the Evil Hero package as it is right now. Just with the very fact that I felt like in a lot of our duels last episode, they kind of bricked us. They didn't quite help as much as I would like them to have done. And it's primarily just because we don't have a lot of very important pieces that deck gets access to, that being a few of the newer Evil Hero monsters. And because of that, I feel like it's not doing it. So that's probably going to be something we change in today's episode. In addition, I did notice while looking in the shop that we have a few free things that we can pick up. So I kind of want to go ahead and get those out of the way as well, just because we really need to increase the chances of us getting something useful. The 2 packs that we get access to are Bonkers Bikers and Flowers of Thrive. Both these packs aren't really any good for us. If anything, I'm primarily looking to see if we can pick up anything generic out of them, just to see if we can give ourselves a slight edge moving forward. I did mention last episode also that I am considering going into the bundle deals once again, and this time around I am deciding between the Infinite Impermanence and or the Triple Tactics talent, just for the very fact that because we are just a going second strategy, getting access to these 2 cards in particular is really helpful. If I'm being honest, I kind of like the idea of Imperm being able to be added to our deck, just for the very fact that I would like to be able to at least do something on our opponent's turn, and or just be able to use this card from hand. So that's what I'm leaning towards. But before we do go into the Imperm pack, let's go ahead and pick up the free packs that we have here. I'm also going to go ahead and open up the bonus legacy packs. Just because they've been lingering in the collection, I'm just going to open them really quickly, see if we get anything good. They're not that good, but we'll just get it out of the way. All right, then. So let's go ahead and get this one right here. Flowers that thrive upon woe. Probably not going to get anything all that good here. I'm not expecting. All right, then. Let's see. Can we get anything good? We're just going to go ahead and open them real quick. As expected, yeah, nothing generically useful for us. Didn't have high hopes about it, but you know what, you might as well. You have the free packs, you know. All right, what about this one? We're gonna skip it real quick. Come on, let's see. We have some wind-ups. Yeah, nothing again. Okay, you know what, worth a shot. And yeah, I'm just gonna do this real quick, and I'll let you know if I get anything useful out of these. Alright, then I opened them up and there was pretty much nothing useful from it. That's as expected. You know what? I think what I'm going to do with the bonus packs moving forward is every single time we accumulate 100, we'll go ahead and do a big opening of them and then wait until we accumulate 100 once again. So nothing out of that. So, you know, we expect that to be the case. Alright, now let's actually open up the pack that hopefully helps us out today. Last episode we actually did end up getting a good amount of useful stuff, and holy shit, that looks like a pretty good set of packs right here. As I was saying, last episode we did end up getting a few really decent packs that gave us a few really good cards that are just generically really good for us. So I'm hoping that we get some more stuff moving forward today too. Karakuri is really cool, but it's not really useful. And the other is, what is this? Cannot use this. We do not play dragons. And hold on, isn't this card kind of decent? Paranomia Pillow. I low-key remember this card because my good friend Big Bear 2000, he plays a lot of Masochist, and I think he's used this on me before. Okay, it's an interesting card. I don't know if it's particularly good. It gives us a way to deal with an opponent's monster, but it's very slow. I don't know if it's gonna make the cut, but maybe. We'll see. All right, pack number 2. Not a bad start. At least we did get a card that could potentially make it into the deck. All right, Oracle. We have a low Volve, Quaddle, cool little Pendulum Magician card. Oh, Goki Suplex. This is a zombie support, yeah. Okay, and the super is we can't really use this actually. So never mind. Pretty good card, I think. But not very useful to us. Come on, show me some generic stuff. Something generically good that we can use. Tsukuyomi, shout out to what is it, Goat Era. Ice Shades, we have a Fluffle Wings. If you don't know this about me, I am a huge Fluffle fan. It's like one of the decks that I own IRL. Really love this deck. Can't use it though, unfortunately enough. Oh, come on, let's see. Pack number 4, we have some Prank Kids. We have a Flower Dino, Warm Ugly, damn right it is, Heroic Challenger, Super Heavy Samurai, Trick Stars, and we have a World Legacy Memories. Again, not really getting anything all that good right now. Pack 5, let's see, we're at the halfway point now. Something. Double Cyclone's interesting. We have Lightning Storm right now, so I don't know if we want to make room for a Double Cyclone at the moment, at least not if we don't have like an artifact. Ashura, we have an Unchained Samsara, okay. Skull Guardian, Dark Dorado, and the Deep Grave. I'm not gonna be using this. This is like such a slow revival trap card. We like our deck does not do well in the grind match, so we can't really use that. Pack 6, Dark Resonator. We have a Gatlin, a Flower Guardian, Floor Synchron, Illusion Faceless Magician, a Light Sworn, a Fortune Lady, and our super rare is Worm King. That's said. Okay. Come on, please, guys. We need something useful here. Come on, please, Chaos. And we have a Judgment Dragon, Raid Raptor, Magic Keys, Tuning Magician, Libromancer card. This is just like a generically. I can't really use that either. And oh, hold on. Zeus. Zeus is pretty damn incredible as a card. I don't know how well we can use it personally, us, but it's definitely a card that you wanna like add into the extra deck if possible. I'm gonna look at our Xyz monster lineup to see if we have anything halfway decent that we can go ahead and Xyz summon into, so we can go and climb into the Zeus. But holy shit, what a pickup! I am hoping we can make this work. Hopefully, we'll see though. God damn, Zeus. I swear, if I was playing almost any other deck, Zeus would be like a godsend, but like because we're playing Hero, it's so much harder to go ahead and play a card like that. Speaking of Hero, there's the Glow Neos, we have a Shadow Incantation, Predator Plant Flytrap is kind of funny, but we can't use that. Boy, okay, last 2 packs going in right now. It would be nice if we could get something else halfway usable. Contrast Hero Chaos, no, that doesn't count. Perfect Ace, no. 2-for-1 Repair Job. Is that an Ancient Gear card? It's not. It's part of like the engine deck. Weird. Isn't it like a deck I believe Bandit Keith uses in the manga? Instead of having like the coin flip deck or the roulette deck, is like it's like a engine deck. Metaphys Ragnarok. I love Metaphys as a strategy, but this is gonna do us no good whatsoever. Okay, anything good from the other 2 super rares? Maybe Copium? No, that's not gonna be useful. And that's definitely not gonna be useful. Wow. Fuck, okay. Well, at least we have an Imperm. We can use the Imperm. Potentially we'll be able to use a Zeus. We'll see though. I don't know if our Xyz pile is any good right now. Aside from those 2 cards that we just got, I'm not seeing anything else here that is all that playable. Okay, as expected, our luck continues to be very poor with this, but it is what it is. Okay, yeah, I'm not. There's gonna be a few changes in the deck today, so give me a second and I'll get into the deck build. Okay guys, so here we have the deck we're going to be running up with today's episode. It's a bit cleaned up from the last one. As I mentioned, we ended up cutting the entire Evil Hero engine. It's just not really working right now, and that's really unfortunate. I would have loved to have played it. Aside from that, we ended up adding in the Infinite Impermanence. I did end up adding an Xyz monster here with number 44 Sky Pegasus, just because it does have some level of versatility. It's not the best option, but we are working with what we got right now, so gotta make do. Of course, we did end up adding the Zeus here. Realistically speaking, I don't know how long Zeus is gonna stay in the extra deck, just for the very fact that you have to make so many sacrifices in the extra deck in order to make this work right now, at least in Hero, just for the fact that it's such a tight extra deck that it makes it very difficult. Apart from that, I don't think there's any many changes in the main deck right now, not that I can notice at the moment at least. A bit boring, not many changes happen, but hopefully it'll get the job done. So last episode we left off on Platinum level 5, with one duel away from leveling up to Platinum tier 4, and we can realistically get to like a Platinum rank 3 today, and even crazier, we could get to Platinum level 2 if we are absolutely cracked and or just get a bunch of really easy matchups. Last episode, it seems possible that we can get easy matchups. We did get quite a few fairly softballs thrown at us, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get into it, but you know what, I have high hopes, so let's get into the duels. We begin today's episode with Duel 1, and something about Duel 1 felt very important to go ahead and start off with a victory. Not only is it a rank up duel, but the ladder's been a bit rough for us as of late, and I feel like if we can begin today's episode with a win, it can be a good tempo for us. And looking at our opening hand, it looks pretty decent. And take a look at the fact that our opponent is playing Dark Magician, I feel like we can definitely win this one. So they go ahead and proceed with their Dark Magician plays, some activating the effect of Dark Magic Circle, searching out for multiple copies of Dark Magician, and then activate Secrets of Dark Magic to summon out the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. But don't have anything else to back it up. Okay, we can definitely work with this. This is definitely very doable. And we draw for turn a copy of Elemental Hero Neos. And you know what? I feel like this is gonna be overkill now. So with that, we search out for a copy of Polymerization, we fuse away the Neos and the Blazeman to go into the Infernal Rage. With the Infernal Rage, we search out for a copy of Favorite Contact and tribute it off to bring out a Sunrise to get access to another copy of Miracle Fusion. We then activate the Pharaohs to go ahead and begin with the Vision Hero plays. We set up the Increase, we send the Militias to the Graveyard, and then go ahead and activate Miracle Fusion to bring out a copy of Shining Wingman. And yeah, with this, we have more than enough for game and victory. Okay. You know what? Not a bad start. Duel 1 and we immediately rank up. And yeah, take a look at the opponent's deck. I feel like we had an overall really positive matchup against this strategy. I mean, granted, if they had access to like the King of the Swamp with like a Dark Magician and fusion summon into like a Dragoon, we probably would have had a harder time, but nevertheless, not something we couldn't have outed. But besides that, I appreciate a nice little easy matchup to begin the episode. We now go into Duel 2, and after the easy victory of Duel 1, I'm looking forward to the rest of these duels because, you know what, something about today makes me feel like we're gonna have an easy time. And we actually got to go second because we ended up winning the coin toss, and this hand is looking pretty damn nice. So let's see what our opponent has in store for us. Okay, one set card and nothing else. This is either a very good thing or a very bad thing because we're about to get hand trapped like crazy. Let's see. So we draw for turn and get access to another copy of Miracle Fusion. So we begin our place. We normal summon the Blazeman, so we search up for a Poly. Poly go ahead and fusion summon one of the copy of Sunriser by using one of the Blazemans and the Liquid Soldier in hand. Then it allows us to go ahead and search for a Miracle Fusion and draw 2 cards. We then activate the effect of Pharaohs in hand to send a copy of the Vion, and then this establishes all our Vision Hero plays. We send a copy of the Shadow Mist, we get to search out for a copy of Neos, and at this point things are looking pretty decent for us. We get to activate the effect of Miracle Fusion to go ahead and establish the Infernal Wing. We search out for our Favorite Contact, we activate the effect of Polymerization, fusing away the Infernal Ring and the Neos to go ahead and summon out the Shining Wingman. And hold on, what was that? Was that a Charmer card? Okay, well, to silence our opponent, we activate Neos and we get victory. What is going on today? These are fairly easy matchups in the ladder. After the duel, I took a look at our opponent's deck, and yeah, it is as I suspected. It was a pure Charmer deck, which was very interesting to see. realistically speaking, I don't think in any world we were actually going to lose to this deck, especially given how well our deck is pretty much constructed. But maybe they could have just beaten us with SP Little Knight Turbo if worse came to worse. But as always, whenever we get an easy victory handed to us, we are going to gladly take it. Alright, on to Duel 3 now. We now move into Duel 3, and honestly, with a 2-duel victory win streak, I'm feeling really good. Let's see if we can't keep it going. Unfortunately, we lose the coin toss, but still get to go second, which is great for us. And take a look at this opening hand. It's looking pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. The instant contact to give us a monster, the Blazeman to search out for polymerization, a Raigeki and a Fusion Destiny, and a Forbidden Droplet. You know what? We can cook with this. Let's see what our opponent has in store for us. Necro Valley Throne, search out for Commandant. Okay, so we're dealing with Necro Valley Gravekeepers. Very interesting. So with the Necro Valley on board, that's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with, but honestly, I don't think it should be anything we can't particularly beat. So let's begin. Of course, they had the Maxi as well. Sure, why not? Okay, let's see what we can cook up. We begin our play by going ahead and summoning out the Blazeman as per usual to search out for a copy of the polymerization. We bring out the copy of the Flaming Wingman with the effect of our instant contact, so we can go ahead and set up a fusion play. With that, we summon out a copy of Sunriser to go ahead and get a copy of the Miracle Fusion from our deck, but then they activate Dogmatica Punishment to deal with the Sunriser. A little annoying, but okay, we can survive this. We just need a way to deal with the Necro Valley. No big deal. Alright, and we have a Forbidden Droplet to go ahead and aid us with this as well. So we're in no big hurry here. But then they summon out Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley with a Commandant. Okay, not the best scenario, but we can still come back from this. Sure, why not? Let's see. What do we draw for turn? Can we get back into this duel? Shouldn't be too difficult. Form change. Okay, well, let's go and get rid of the... Never mind, Solemn Judgment. Alright, touche. Let's see what our opponent has in store for us now. So, as long as they don't have another Gravekeeper, we should be okay. Okay, never mind. Things are looking a little dicey right now, so let's see. What do we draw for turn? Imperm. You're kidding, right? There's no way we go out like this. There's no way we go out like this. Unfortunately, we go out like this. Yeah, maybe it was a mistake not activating Fusion Destiny earlier, but I don't know. I did not think that it was warranted to go ahead and activate it so early, especially given the fact that we did not expect to see that Necro Valley card. And yeah, taking a look at the opponent's deck, the Hidden of the Temple of the Necro Valley was a card that I was genuinely not expecting to see. This really did screw us over with the fact that we couldn't fusion summon anymore, making our copy of Future Destiny pretty much useless. And apart from that, this was this is a rough one. I feel like we could have easily won this duel, but we just got very unfortunate that we didn't draw a single monster aside from the Blazeman at the beginning of the duel. But you know what? This happens. It is what it is. A loss is a loss. We now move on to Duel 4, and I'm not gonna lie, after that last duel, I'm feeling a little bit salty, so I am determined to get another victory. Luckily for us, even though we did lose the coin toss, we still get to go second, and this opening hand is not looking half bad whatsoever. So let's see what our opponent has in store for us. Okay, Anchor Drill, and an Express Bullet Train, but that's it? You're not gonna be doing anything else? Well, if that's the case, we can definitely deal with this. We drop for turn and get a copy of Shadow Mist. We then summon out the Blazeman, search out for a copy of Polymerization, but it gets negated via the assault effect of Solemn Strike. Okay, well luckily for us, we still have the Ferris. Ferris sends a copy of Shadow Mist to the graveyard, set an increase, and then search out for a Neos. We then go ahead and get rid of the Ferris to bring out the increase, bring out a Vion, and fusion summon into a copy of Sunriser, sending the Neos to the graveyard. With Sunriser, we search for a copy of Miracle Fusion, and then we activate the effect of our instant contact to bring out a Flaming Wingman. We then go ahead and activate the effect of the Vion to get another copy of Polymerization. We link into the Cross Crusader, bringing back a copy of Malicious to bring out the Dread Decimator, because we are trying to get game right here. We then fusion summon into the Neos Wingman, and this should be more than enough to go ahead and get game for us. We still have access to a copy of Fusion Destiny to go ahead and put the final cherry on top to get our final victory. And yeah, honestly, this was a fairly easy matchup for us. I was a bit confused as to what exactly was going on, so let's take a look at what our opponent was exactly piloting. Take a look at the opponent's deck, and it's a interesting take on Earth Machine. For the most part, I feel like they're playing a bit unorthodox of cards, like the construction train signal. I don't think I've ever seen this card be played in trains or specifically Earth Machine Turbo, alongside with the Ruffian Rail Car or the Express Train Trolley Oli. So I am a bit confused as to why the ladder's been so easy lately. We now move on to Duel 5, and we actually end up winning the coin toss, which is great for us. And we elect to go second as per usual. But our opening hand is looking a bit lackluster. The Vion helps a lot, but having the increase in hand is not great. But then we see our opponent summon out Goblinberg. Okay, that's interesting, but they also they change the effect of Kage to Kage as well. So I am not too sure what exactly I'm expecting here, because we're going to probably be getting some form of rank 4 turbo, and they summon out the Maxi. Interesting. But they also summon out the Utopia double, which searches out for double or nothing. I am more than confused right now. They then rank up into number 99 Utopia Draco, bringing out a number 53 Heart Earth, and set to back row. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief, I am very confused as to what exactly I am looking at right now. But nevertheless, we go ahead and move on to our turn. For us, we have quite a few ways to go ahead and deal with this board. Not only do we have the Droplet, we also have the Sinful Spoils, and we have a play starter with the Rhoda and the Vion, so we're kind of chilling right now. We begin with activating our Sinful Spoils to get rid of the Utopic Draco. We then search out for a copy of Liquid Soldier, sending a copy of the Shadow Mist to the graveyard with the effect of Vion, buying activate the effect to search out for a Polymerization, and then we fuse and summon away the Liquid Soldier with the Neos to bring out the Infernal Rage. With the Infernal Rage on field, we search out for a copy of Favorite Contact and drop 2 cards. We then go ahead and get access to 2 copies of Blazement via our draw. We fusion summon into the Sunriser, and then we summon out a copy of Neos Wingman. We've been summoning this card a lot lately, which is pretty freaking awesome. We then fusion summon into the Dystopia as well, and at this point we're pretty much chilling. The effect of the Earth Heart has no effect here, and pretty much we just get victory. Our opponent scoops it up, and GG's. Take a look at the opponent's deck, and okay, so it seems like we were facing off against some version of Onomat. I was very confused at the fact that they decided to go ahead and activate the effect of Goblinberg to bring out a copy of Max C. I guess they were forced to do so if they wanted to do anything, which really sucks for them, I'm not gonna lie. Aside from that, we took this duel very comfortably. And again, the ladder's been surprisingly easy. Granted, we did get 1 loss, but you know what, that was a bit of a rough one for us. But nevertheless, I feel like something's up right now. We now move on to Duel 6, the halfway point of the episode, and you know what, we have a bit of a win streak going on right now, so let's see if we can add on to it. Unfortunately for us, we do lose the coin toss, but nevertheless, we still get to go first, and our hand is looking pretty alright. Let's see what our opponent is playing. Oh, Battle Wasp, okay, that's kind of interesting. So this is a deck that I don't see all that often, so therefore I'm not super familiar with its playstyle. I do know that it's been compared in the past to like the modern day, with air quotes, version of Blackwing when it was in its heyday, but I'm fairly sure the deck isn't crazy good. And yeah, taking a look at the board, it looks a little underwhelming. I'm fairly sure they can do more than this. And it seems like our opponent agreed, because they decided to surrender right after it was our turn. We didn't even get a chance to play a single card down, and they scooped. And take a look at the opponent's deck. Yeah, this isn't what I was particularly expecting. It seems like they're just playing a bit of B-Troopers and a few Battle Wasps with just some generic insect good stuff. Not fairly sure this is the way the deck's supposed to be played, but you know what? I'm not an expert on this strategy, so you guys let me know. Again, it's been a bit of a weird episode so far. A lot of these decks have felt a bit, not to be rude, but like underwhelming. I don't know if it's just me. We finally reached Duel 7, and this is our rank up duel, so we gotta lock in, guys. Alright then, so we actually end up winning the coin toss and elect to go second, so that's phenomenal for us. And look at our opening hand, Ferris, Blazement, and Neos. That's pretty damn good. And our opponent only sets a single card, so you know what, things are looking great for us. And we draw Lightning Storm, which is not a great draw, but you know what, that's okay. We summon the Blazeman, search out for a polymerization, we fuse it away to summon out the Infernal Rage, the combo at this point. We activate the effect to bring out the Sunriser. With Sunriser, we get access to a copy of Miracle Fusion. We activate Miracle Fusion, fusing away the Neos and Flame Wingman to summon out Shining Neos. And hold on, was that a cross border? Okay. We then activate the Fusion Destiny, activate the effect, burn them for 1100, and that is game. Okay, well, a bit anticlimactic, but you know what? We'll take the victory. Taking a look at the opponent's deck, and yeah, this is very interesting to see, to say the least. It seems like our opponent was playing some variant of like Hero Spacian Warrior Toolbox of some sort, like to the point that they're playing cards like Ronald and the Fire Flint Lady as like level 1 targets for the effect of Izolde, which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. They have some interesting equip spells in the deck as well in order to go ahead and summon off the effect of Izolde to send into the graveyard, which I can respect the build, but very, very interesting version of the deck that I'm seeing here. We're now on Duel 8, and we've been on a bit of a hot streak so far with 4 duels in a row winning, so that's pretty damn awesome. Let's see if we can keep up with this hot streak. Luckily for us, we do win the coin toss and elect to go second, and our hand is looking pretty decent. An Imperm as an interruption, yeah, we'll take that. But then our opponent activates Dimfib and activates Shield the Millennium. Very interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really familiar with the Millennium archetype. It's not something I see all that often whatsoever, so it should be a fairly interesting experience here. And what is going on right now? Our opponent reveals all of Exodia to summon out the Unstoppable Exot and setting a trap card that I'm not super familiar with, which is going to be relevant in just a second. So our turn begins with summoning out the Blazeman, but it gets ashed. Okay, and then we get hit by the anti-spell Fragrance, which is always amazing. And this is where the trap card came into play, because they popped all our back row. So pretty much very vulnerable here. We just gotta wait to see if we can survive the turn. Come on, they have a 0 attack monster and a 2750 monster. What's the worst that can? Whoa, okay. All right, well, that's awesome. So we got a little cooked and a bit humbled there. Take a look at the opponent's deck, and yeah. So as I've mentioned, I'm not very familiar with the Millennium archetype, but this was a bit rough. I'm not gonna lie, the anti-spell Fragrance was definitely not something I was very happy to have seen our opponent activate on us, but realistically speaking, we could have probably just activated the Imperm from hand, negating the effect of the big ass fusion monster, and then just running it over with the Blazeman that we had summoned originally. But honestly, you know, reading's hard. Reading's very difficult. We now move on to Duel 9, the second to last duel of the episode. Luckily for us, we do go ahead and win the coin toss once again and elect to go second. And take a look at our opening hand. It's not half bad. We do have a Lightning Storm, which will be very helpful moving forward. And oh, okay, it seems like we're going to be dealing with Dragon Link. That's interesting. Dragon Link is a very competent strategy that is pretty annoying to deal with when it gets going quite like this. So I feel fairly confident with the fact that we do have a Lightning Storm in hand, and we have a few play starters with the Vion, so we should be pretty okay. It seems like they've added in some very interesting engines in there, like the Metal Morph archetype, alongside adding in a Bestial engine, which is something I've grown accustomed to seeing in the more modern versions of the Bestial deck. But something that I was really caught off guard about this strategy was the fact that the Collapse Serpent and the what's the other little guy? There we go, Wyvern Buster. They're at 3 in Master Duel. Who allowed this to happen? These cards should not be at 3. And take a look at the board our opponent has available to them. They have an IP Masquerena, they have a Hermetic Seal, and they have the Wyvern Burster, which shouldn't be the most difficult thing to deal with. So I activate our Lightning Storm so we can get rid of all their back row, because I don't want to deal with that. And then after that, we go ahead and summon out the Vion to try and see if we can't go ahead and bait out the effect of the Seal. We don't really want to have the Seal pretty much deal with any monster we summon, so we want to go ahead and bait it out as fast as possible. But then our opponent activates the effect of the Druid Swarm, which is a little annoying, but luckily for us, he didn't get rid of any material from the graveyard. We then summon out the Ferris, and then they go ahead and link away into an Appaloosa. Kind of annoying, but sure, we'll go ahead and deal with that. we activate the effect of increase and it does not get negated, which I was surprised by, but now it gets negated via the effect of the Appaloosa, but that's okay, I don't really mind that. I then come on and bring up the Sunriser and try to activate the effect once again, and it does not get negated, which I'm very surprised by. I then activate the effect of the Malicious and it does get negated this time, so I'm like, okay, interesting choices to negate. I then bring out the Infernal Wing and search out the favorite contact, but it gets negated once again. At this point I enter battle phase and then try to get rid of the board. Then they activate the Heretic Seal to go ahead and bring out a copy of Fallen of Albas, which I thought was a crazy move. Then they summon out the Mirror Jade, which I'm thinking, oh, we are cooked here. How are we gonna beat Mirror Jade with no field whatsoever? No, we go ahead and pass it on to our opponent and we're kind of at their mercy. They attack with the Collapsed Serpent in the Mirror Jade and we get to set our increase. Our opponent then summons out the SP Little Knight and it is looking like GG's right here. There's just no way we can come back from this. It's the end phase and they go ahead and set their branded regains once again. We draw for turn and I don't even know what I'm expected to draw into. Fusion Destiny is a good addition. We activate the effect of Imprint to go ahead and negate the SP Little Knight so we can then safely Fusion Summon using the Fusion Destiny. But of course our opponent did also have the Maxi. What a surprise. With the Fusion Destiny we bring out the Dystopia to see if we can't get rid of some aspects of this deck. We try to burn our opponent with the effect of Dystopia. They activate the effect of the Regain to bring back the Druid Swarm. We summon out the Denier. The Denier gets banished via the effect of the Mirror Jade. And then their opponent activates the effect of Regain once again. We activate the effect of Mally, link it away into the Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader then brings back the Dystopia. But then, what happened? Our opponent lost due to time limit. Crazy work. Honestly, we weren't gonna win that duel. I'm gonna be keeping a buck with you guys. We were gonna lose this duel 100%. It's BS, but we won nevertheless. And yeah, I mean, take a look at the opponent's deck. Their deck looks very, very powerful. Dragon Link, especially when uninterrupted, is a really annoying deck to go up against. But I do feel bad for our opponent for having to lose like that. It does suck whenever you lose to essentially time limit when you were clearly in the winner's seat. It feels bad accepting this victory, but you know what? At this point, we'll take them. Alright then guys, we are now at the final duel of the episode and we actually end up winning the coin toss and elect to go second. And realistically speaking here, we can go really well in this episode. Right now we are 7-2 with the potential of going 8-2. And oh god, we are facing off against Malice. Our final duel is against Malice, but you know what? It's okay because they passed a Link Revo and that's it. Something seems off here, but you know what? Who am I to complain? Oh, okay, yeah, there's the Maxi. Well, we got one shot. We summon out the Vion. Vion sends the Shadow Mist to the graveyard to search out for Ferris, and then our opponent activates Draw Lockbird. Okay, sure, why not? We activate Ferris to set the increase, and our opponent surrendered. I suppose they weren't confident in their ability to survive this turn. I don't know why, though. Realistically speaking, I don't know if our opponent was gonna lose there immediately unless they had absolutely no hand traps in hand besides the draw. I feel like they would have been okay. They could have definitely drawn into more hand traps if they let me combo off further, but I don't know. Okay, you know what? Take a look at the deck one more time. Realistically speaking, maybe they thought that because they didn't have access to a card like Nibiru, they were kind of cooked, but I don't know, guys. You tell me. Alright then guys, and with that, this concludes another episode of Returning to Master Duel. And honestly, I am still a bit dumbfounded by the way this episode ended up concluding. For the most part, a lot of the duels that we had access to in today's episode were very winnable, to the point that we could have potentially have gone 10-0 in today's episode, which is crazy to think about. The duel against the Gravekeeper strategy was very unfortunate that we didn't draw a single monster aside from placement at the beginning. And yeah, I mean, stuff like that does happen. And additionally, the duel against the Millennium deck, maybe we could have beaten that deck if we had dealt with the Exod earlier, but that's up to debate. But nevertheless, like, a lot of these duels felt very, very winnable. Granted, we did win one of our duels off kind of like a BS aspect of the duel, which was just the time limit, but you know what? It is just part of the game. Nevertheless, that felt really, really nice. So going to the next episode, I'm feeling kind of confident, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of the next episode, I'm potentially gonna be diving into the Ghost Bell pack for the next episode, because one of my commenters did mention that that would be a pretty good addition to the deck, especially if I'm getting a lot of issues from dealing with Malice. And I don't disagree. Overall, Ghost Bell seems like a fairly decent hand trick to get access to moving forward, so we might actually dive into that one. But we'll see. But yeah, guys, with that being said, in the comments below, give me your thoughts, any suggestions you might have for another pack that we could take a direction into. I'd love to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. But with that being said, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.